Okay, hello everyone. Welcome to the stream. So stream number 2 of the day. So I just finished my last stream about a couple of hours ago, and we are back into the mix because I really want to get footage of a bunch of Vulkan games up and running. Plus, I want to get some footage of Tales of Elliot, some of the Windows games too. I'm not sure if I'm going to have time to do everything, but we will attempt. We will make an attempt. Okay. So a lot of people have been asking me to take a look at the fix for that's been developed by hacking MoltenVK. And there's a couple of fixes, but the big one is going to be Detroit Become Human. And there's multiple people working on this. Mostly it's down to a user called Squidbus, who does a lot of like Vulkan metal stuff, right? If you're familiar with latest on Windows Gaming on Mac, then you know. Then we're going to have a look at that today. Okay. Playing PUBG, not possible. Not possible, I'm afraid. Only possible really with... There's not really worth doing. PUBG Mobile through an Android emulator like Mimi Player Pro or BlueStacks. Possibility. Okay, hacked Vulkan. So I'm referring to this, which is hacked MoltenVK, which allows Detroit Become Human to work. So what we're going to do is I've now downloaded all of it. So we're going to close down Steam. I'm going to close this down as well. So I'm going to close down Crossover. So guys, don't do this. Please do not do this unless anything that you do to modify Crossover, you should do at your own risk. You should never ask Codeweavers for help or support with this, okay? Because this is an unauthorized way of handling this. So what I want to do is make a copy of Crossover. So I'm going to copy, and then I'm going to 3-dot paste to make a copy of Crossover. And then we're going to do, I'm going to call this one MoltenVK. Okay. So I'm going to make a copy of this. I'm going to just open it just to double check that it's working. Trippy Tyson, PUBG Mobile, it works via Mimi Player Pro or BlueStacks. If you check the previous videos I've made it probably last year, you'll see lots of videos I demonstrate PUBG Mobile working there. Okay, but it's not very good, so to be warned. Okay, so that's all working now. So I've made sure that that's working, and then what we're going to do is we're going to download this packaged up MoltenVK, which has a number of fixes. So lots of people have commented on this. This is Isaac, the creator of Whiskey, also intern now at Codeweavers. And then Bill Hollings, he maintains MoltenVK. But then I think there was some input by somebody called Squidbus. Let me just find it. Okay, not specifically here, but there's this guy here, D Avisu, who has done a lot of work on this. What we're going to do is download this Detroit unofficial 0.03 MoltenVK. So let's do that. I'll put this in our downloads folder. And then within downloads, let me just put this back. Oh, I just deleted everything. Okay, then let's download this again. Whoops. Detroit MoltenVK unofficial. We'll put it in our downloads folder. And then we're going to go to downloads, and then we'll double click on Detroit MoltenVK. And then this is going to give us this lib MoltenVK dylib, which we're going to copy. Okay. Then we need to install it. So let's just see how this works. Because I don't actually really know. I'm going to be honest with you, because I've never done this one before. Yeah. I think we just need to replace it. And then there's a couple of environmental variables we have to add too, I think. So if I just check the instructions again, there's... I think we're supposed to add these. It's these environmental variables. Let me check if this is working. I think all you need to do is to download the MoltenVK. Okay. So we're gonna make a copy of this, and then we're gonna edit, go to applications, and we're gonna crossover, and then we're gonna control click on this, go to show package contents, and we're gonna find the MoltenVK. So where is MoltenVK kept? Let me see. MoltenVK, what are we? Yeah, lib MoltenVK. So I'm gonna double click on this, lib64, go to lib MoltenVK, lib MoltenVK, and call this one, I'll rename this one and call this one backup. Okay, and then we're gonna paste the new MoltenVK in here. Okay, so that our new modified MoltenVK is there. Then we'll go back to applications, then we'll double click on our crossover. Let's just make sure it's fully quit before we open it. Let me just check that's correct. Lib MoltenVK, okay, good. Then we're going to double click on crossover lib MoltenVK and open up. Then we're going to go to Steam. Then we're going to change our graphics backend into DXVK to make use of MoltenVK. And then we're going to double click on Steam. What's the difference to normal MoltenVK? Well, it's just had a bunch of fixes applied to it. I'm sure that'll get integrated into the main MoltenVK. It takes quite a long time for Bill Hollings to actually make a change like that. So don't expect that to happen anytime soon. This is a modification of crossover. So don't ask crossover for support because they won't support this. Eventually, this is going to get fully supported on Mac. So, you know, don't try not to think too hard about this. It's not that big a deal. Okay, good. So, okay, next what we're going to do is we're going to load up Detroit Become Human. And it's going to run through MoltenVK now, okay? So it's going to run through the new MoltenVK. And if it doesn't work, then we have to add some of those environmental variables. The real graphics card is not supported, officially supported. You still want to launch? Yes. Okay, we are in menu, in game. Yeah, I'm using M3 Max, 48 gigabytes of RAM, 40 GPU cores. Let's see if shader compile. Most of the games I want to play support macOS anyway, so I probably wouldn't even have to use crossover. Yeah, I mean, if you're happy with gaming, the macOS offerings for gaming on Mac, then there's absolutely no reason for you to play Windows games, of course. But there are lots and lots of Windows games, a magnitude more Windows games than there are Mac games, and there will always be more Windows games. So if you really like gaming, then you probably want to play some of these games. These games will never get Mac ports. Many Windows games that might be interesting be RCS 2 and Battlefront 2. Well, both of those work through crossover, so, you know, that's, for some reason, for some people, like getting a Mac means, you know, you have a work-first approach. Macs are great for multiple work reasons. But people choose to use, people just want to play one or two games on their Mac. So this is, they'd rather do that than, you know, buy a whole other Windows gaming computer. So that's why you use crossover. That's why you want to play these Windows games on Mac. That's the main thing. Yeah. Okay, so I'm gonna let this like shader compile process continue. So it's been the case for a really long time that this has been working up until this stage, but it'll crash at the end of shader compilation. But because of this MoltenVK, apparently this would work well. CS2 has some issues on crossover. Yeah, if you use D3D Metal, I think you'll get a decent experience with Game Porting Toolkit 4.0 as well as macOS 27. I've done testing on it. It runs better, for sure. But I still haven't really compared it against DXMT. I think DXMT works really well too. So they work well. Hard to say whether you want to be competitive playing it, but we'll see. So Detroit Become Human has been a kind of white whale for a lot of people for the Mac gaming universe, because we have like a handful of like Vulkan only games. For example, Doom Eternal, and this game. Some of the features don't work. Some of these games don't work, and people constantly ask whether it'll work, and it doesn't. So now that people have hacked MoltenVK to support some of the features which will allow us to run, means that this the gap between Mac gaming, Windows gaming is getting smaller and smaller. So it's pretty good. So you'd IO chill accounts on one Mac, try to get Resident Evil 7 running on crossover, but it's not crushed. Try CX Patcher with GStreamer. Might be a codec issue. I believe all of the Windows versions of Resident Evil games have issues, and they have been fixed using CX Patcher with GStreamer. So you apply CX Patcher, make sure to install GStreamer, and then that should work, I think. So Phantom Bridger says there would be some input lag. I don't know if we're well enough for competitive. It's not. I don't think it's really good enough for competitive. But Overwatch rivals much better through game 14 until got 4. Go and tell if he said anything. No. Yeah. So I've played Detroit Become Human. I got like halfway. I didn't finish it. So people ask constantly whether this works. I don't really know why it's so popular, because it seems like a decent adventure game. It's not like massively replayable or anything like that. Just looking at how many people playing. There's 3,000 people playing it right now, according to Steam DB. I just choked a lot of my water, and now like a lot of people, but hopefully nothing other than the keyboard and mouse seems to have suffered. Yeah, you got to be careful with liquids and computers. Just arrived. Is this compilation process something that happens every time? Which this should just happen on the first launch, so hopefully this shouldn't take too long. Okay, so how is everyone doing today? It is very hot in here. I've got fans on. I haven't turned the air conditioning on because I need to set that whole thing up. But yeah, I'm in a treadmill in an office with not much ventilation, but I've got 2 fans running on me really hard. Is GameHub easy to use? Maybe and maybe not. I was just drinking water. I thought I'd just drink a big mouthful. Yeah, I get that issue a lot with when I'm rushing too much, trying to do too much, start choking a bit. I was all up all night due to tornadoes in the Midwest. Okay, I would not like to live anywhere with the risk of tornadoes. I mean, in Taiwan, I live in the UK, but when I go to Taiwan, the big risks are, I guess, tsunamis, typhoons is the big one, and earthquakes, right? The main reason I play CS2 is to play competitive, so I should probably wait until I buy a PC someday. A very basic PC will handle Counter-Strike 2 quite well. So a few videos ago, I did a video about the Geekom X14 Pro, and I actually think that's a good enough laptop for competitive CSGO. It's good enough to drive a high-resolution screen, and you'll get hundreds of frames per second, and it'll just work better. Windows just works better, and it's not that much money. It's like $800, like $1,000 for a laptop like that. You could buy a secondhand for much cheaper. And yes, Counter-Strike 2 doesn't require a strong, powerful computer at all. It's mostly like CPU bound. It doesn't require much. So just if you really care about CS2, then just buy a Windows computer. It's just easier. Counter-Strike 2 runs really good on my PC, but I get like 700 ping for some reason, even on good Wi-Fi. Just hook it up via Ethernet, and that's gonna change everything. Could you also check your memory to see if there's a memory leak? Let's see, there's a memory leak. Game only uses 1.8 gig of metal and then 8 gigabytes of app in total. So that's total memory. We're using 28 gigabytes, and then it should be okay. I'll buy a PC someday and use Linux anyway. For me, it's not worth it to buy a cheaper PC first. I have other games I can play first. That's the reality, is that there are, yes, many games can work and many games don't work. But if you get too hung up on the games that don't work, you kind of forget that there are tens of thousands of games that do work. So maybe you can't play Detroit Become Human, but you can play Until Dawn. You can play similar adventure games. Not a suggestion, but just curious if you tried Subnautica 2 preview. Yes, I made a video about it on my second channel, a tutorial on how to get it running. So Subnautica 2 runs fine. So I won't stress too much about that. There's some interesting games coming out today. There's going to be the Tales of Elliot. This comes out in about 20 minutes. I might test that. There's some other ones too that I want to try, like Lost Castle 2, 33 Immortals. I know Empress doesn't work, but it might work through Parallels, so I could try that. I've covered Subnautica 2 in quite a lot of like depth already, and I made a whole video on my second channel. It's not currently that popular game. So like it really dropped off from like 200k users to now it's much less. Yeah, I think there's still much optimization potential in shaded compilation processes and crossover, large as well as a heavy multi-core CPU process, which of course, yeah, hopefully, I don't know. As long as it's playable, I mean, I don't mind waiting half an hour for shaders to compile. I'm just, what am I doing? Walking, burning off some energy, so I don't really mind. It's interesting how most of the games that would be interesting for me work on macOS without translation there, so I probably don't have to change anything for now. Yes. Well, will this work for 007 First Light? I've already made a video about 007 First Light. Just install Game 14 Toolkit 4 on macOS 27 beta, and that'll work. There's also a new tool that people are using called Shader Commander, and that's basically a script that someone has written that kills the MTL process as soon as it goes over 6 gigabytes automatically, and basically that will fix the shader compilation process. You should give it a try. If I have time, I'll try it today, but I really doubt it because I'm going to stop in a couple of hours. I might continue a bit later, but who knows. Thoughts on macOS 27 in general? I feel like it's pretty good. Quite happy with it. Unlike other betas that I've tried, there are no like massive crashes or bugs that I've experienced. So it seems relatively stable. That's not necessarily true of any like future updates. So we'll see, how that goes. Have I tried VMware Fusion Pro? Yes, multiple times, multiple videos about it. If you check my YouTube channel, then you'll see that. My understanding is macOS 27 is more of a bug fix performance release than feature release. Yeah. It's basically all of the features from Tahoe, but like refined. And also there's like big performance improvements for a lot of things. Also, to see that Minecraft 26.2 released with Vulkan support and some optimization modules updated to support it. I haven't seen that, no. But I might cover that soon. Does VMware support a lot of games? I mean, some games up to DirectX 11, it often plays 32-bit games better and DirectX 9 games better. So a lot of the games that came out between like 2002 and 2010, right, 2010, those kind of games work better than through crossover in its current implementation. And also, with Windows 11 on Canary, there are some Battle.i games that work. For example, Grand Theft GTA 5 Legacy plays online. Yeah, DXMT is top-notch for DirectX 11 games, agreed. It just released, a lot of mods don't work with it yet. Biggest being shaders, although Vulkan-based shaders give a lot of benefits for the future. I guess I'll have to cover that in the future. Is Prism still the best way to run Minecraft? Okay, so what other games will start to work with this? There are 3 games we're going to test today specifically: Doom 2016, Doom Eternal, and Detroit Become Human. I think that will work better. shader compilation almost done. Really excited to see how it runs. Sodium already supports it. Okay. So you install Sodium, and then, well, are there any shaders that work with Minecraft Vulkan yet? Because once shaders work, then I can test it with shaders, and then, you know, that's a good way of getting it to work. No shaders yet. That's a shame. We have to wait for Aperture to release. Is it has Aperture said they're going to release it anytime soon? Because the Vulkan, I mean, Vulkan on Minecraft has been a known. People have known about it, that it's going to be released for a very long time now. So I'm surprised that nothing has been done as of yet. I think with Minecraft running so well, even on many potato hardwares, I think seeing Minecraft with mods that push the envelope, I really will quite understand how well it runs. I'm not really much of a Minecraft player, so I don't really know. However, the Vulkan mod for older versions has a shader add-on. App for memory usage. Oh yeah, it's gone up 17 gigabytes. But Metal is only 2, so don't know what that means. Anyway, my brother can install macOS 27 on the 120 graphic. Is by completely factory resetting the MacBook to get enough free space to download macOS 27. Yes, you can also build a USB stick. So you download the installer and then you write it to a USB stick. That's an option too. Although really, I would just sell that M1 MacBook Air, buy something with a bit more storage space. There's Beryl, it's kind of a shader for the Vulkan mod. I think I tried that earlier in the last week or something, and I couldn't get Beryl to work. I'm not sure what I was doing wrong exactly. Yeah, 69 viewers and 11 likes. Come on, like the live stream. I don't need it, but it's nice to signal for it to work, to show that you appreciate live stream. Although your presence is probably enough, to be honest. Okay, so just waiting for this to go through. It's always like with a lot of this stuff. It's always the last 2% is a big. It never calculates it correctly, right? That 2% could take like a whole day. I'm just going to read up on my other computer about how this works. Detroit Computer Mac. Oh, so there's like a README file, which I never even looked at. I should have a look at the README file. Because I downloaded this and I never even looked at the README. Ah, okay. I need to. Ooh, there's a whole bunch of stuff I didn't do. Okay, so quick crossover, blah, blah, changed to MoltenVK, did this. Yeah, edit the Steam bottles. I didn't do that. Into environmental variables. So I need to. Should I quit out and do this? Okay, I should probably follow the instructions. 20 minutes. Okay, this pre-compiles the method splitting. Oh my god, there's so much stuff I didn't do. Oh my god, okay. I missed out a bunch of stuff. So Hexfiend will disable the blur. Does it interfere with MoltenVK? Apply the background effects to fix which causes issue with MoltenVK. I mean, I guess that's optional. You know what? I think we might be hanging on this. Okay, I want to quit. I want to quit this. Okay. So what we need to do is I want to double click on this README to open up fully. Open with text edit. Okay. And then, okay, so I'm going to open up the game once to do that. Okay, so then we need to add this to environmental variables. Okay, so we need to go to, we're going to quit Steam. We're going to quit all applications. And then what we're going to do is we're going to change the Steam bottle information. So we're going to go here. We're going to make sure that the path bar is turned on. Show the path bar. Then we're going to go down a level to the C bottle. Then we're going to control click on the 6 bottle.conf and then open with text edit. And then we're going to add these lines under environmental variables. What's this purpose, this ini? What does that do? Okay, I'm just going to add that in, and that's going to, then we're going to press save. And then we're going to go to graphic options.json. Because we launched the game once, it's already opened up. Where is this located? Is it located within the Steam bottle? Let's check. It's markdown formatting. Okay, should not add that to the file. Okay, good. Okay, so I'll just delete that ini part. So make sure to delete any mention of ini. So it's just those lines, and then we go to File and then Save. Okay, Markdown formatting. Okay, next we need to find graphics options.json because we already launched the game once. It should have created a graphics option. So sometimes this is in app data. Let me just see if it's, nope. Sometimes it's in documents. So where is the graphics? Detroit become, let's see where is the path to game? Okay, so we need to find graphics options.json. That's where we installed it. So basically, control click, open C drive. We'll go to program 86, Steam, and then Steam apps, and then common, and then we'll find the game there. But actually, my one's located on my data folder here. And then we're going to find Detroit Become Human. And then is there a graphics options.json here? No. Where's graphics options.json? According it to this, it's the path to game. Oh, saved games content dream. Okay, that makes more sense. So if we go to documents, goes down to saved games. Can I just search my computer for Quantic? Quantic Dreams. It says a path to game. Where is this file located? Maybe it's in my bottle again. So control click bottle. Okay, so okay, this is an issue. How do I find should be in where the folder is. So it should be where my data folder is with my Steam. They have an option to change my graphics options. Okay, let's just try running Steam and I'll app data. I looked in app data already. So we have users app data local. It's not. None of these got updated today. So this is today. What's 10th? It's supposed to be in the game files. Let me load it up again. Maybe it's because it didn't get in game. It hasn't created a file yet. Because we don't have graphic settings if there's graphics graphics have been loaded. Do you have hidden files? I guess I should have a look. Just gonna read the README. So there's a script here which allows you to compile shaders, and you know how many cores can you use generating the metalib files. It should be where the game folder is. So let me just look this up again, and I'll enable hidden folders. So how do I enable hidden folders? View. Oh, if I remember correctly, there's like a shortcut for it, isn't there? Command Shift and dot. That's what I did. Because if I go to desktop, if I do it, yeah, I've got the hidden files. I've got that on. So there's no graphics options. I think it has to be, I think the game has to be loaded first for that to actually appear. Let that one. This macOS has a lot of hidden files when the thumbnail index, stuff like that. There's loads of it. So I've been reading now. So there's a script called compile MSL library cache, and that will help make it specify how many calls you want to use. Okay. So okay. Wonder if they'll be able to save compile shaders to speed this up. I mean, yes. The problem with shaded compilation. The problem with shaded compilation is that technically it's made up of like game files. So distributing, people have said that cache files are basically if you distribute them, it's like you're distributing game assets. You know, I'm not sure if that argument really matters that much, but that's what people say. So there's lots of reasons for not to do it. M4 Mini and a Steam Deck. Should I buy the Neo or stick with the Steam Deck? Stick with the Steam Deck. It's much more powerful and compatible compared to the MacBook Neo. Almost no contest. Now, if you were saying MacBook Pro or Steam Deck, then the MacBook Pro is going to run of the games that are compatible. The MacBook Pro is going to run much better. Okay, we're getting somewhere. Okay, we're in game. Cool. So hopefully the graphics JSON has been created, so we can finally in game. Come on. Oh my god. In menu anyway. Have I played Detroit? Yes. I got like halfway and then I got kind of bored. I think I moved house, that's why, and I stopped playing it. I do remember I'm like halfway through the game.
I haven't seen you for a while. It's good to have you back.
I always find this character really funny. Okay, so let's to some options.
Accessing the options section.
Ooh, it's trying to run it at 4K. Let's push it down back to 1080. That's an FPS limit. VSync off. Sharpening off. Let's put it to like medium first. Let's not go too crazy again.
Your parameters have been saved.
What chapters are around?
Accessing the story chart.
Yeah, so this is how far I've gotten. I kind of forgot I feel like I got quite far. Have I played that? And then I haven't got past this this bit. Let's play a bit and then we'll try the let's play a bit. I don't want to play the Eden part because that the sexy nightclub part. But let's play. Yeah, let's do this. This is pretty neutral. So I'll play this a bit, and then if necessary, I'll tweak the depth of field options because I think that's optional. Yeah, I can see there's this depth of field option is really messing up the screen. So I think it might vote. Actually, it's not that bad. We're running at 60. I don't see a specific issue with the depth of field yet. The screen tearing. Maybe I will turn VSync on. Maybe this can handle a bit higher graphics. We'll turn VSync on, and then we'll put this at high. This is quite an old game. I remember playing it like 10 years ago now, I think. Maybe I can run this in the Ultra. Because it's quite an old game now. I will try Doom 2016, but I can't. Not really shocked. I'm shocked that this runs well on through this MoltenVK hack. So the README says that there's issues with the depth of field, but I don't see it yet. There's something wrong. I'm weird issues with the controller. Pretty good looking, yeah. Find Amanda. Yeah, there are some depth of field issues.
Connor, it's good to see you.
Like that whole thing is gone a bit wrong.
Congratulations, Connor. Finding that deviant was far from easy. And the way you
Yeah, I can see there are problems here, so that's why we need to do it.
You've been remarkably efficient, Connor.
Thank you, Amanda.
Yeah, we need to turn this off. Okay, good. So let's figure out how to do this. Okay, good. So did this create a graphics options? Here we are, graphics options.json. Okay. So we need to navigate to where we were, and then we'll find this graphics option, and then we're going to open this up with text edit. And then we're going to change the depth of field. Let's find depth of field. Let's turn this to 0. Okay, go to file and then save. and then we're gonna hex edit this file. So we're gonna copy and then paste. There, leave that. And we're gonna hex edit this file. So no, instead of doing that, we're just gonna download hex fiend. God, there's a lot of steps for this, getting this to work. Hex fiend. So we're gonna install this. So we're going to move this into applications folder. I already have it installed. Interesting. Hex fiend. Right click, open. Okay, then what we're going to do is we're going to go to our game. And then we're going to drag and drop this Detroit Become Human file to here. And then we're going to do a search for this. So copy. I want to find it here. By bring find. I'm going to find. We'll paste that number. Press add return. Can't see it. Should be there. Why is this not showing? Why is that not coming up? Up next we do a hex fiend, or how the heck did I search the hex for? Why is this being funny? Let's try this again. Why is that not working? Let's have a look. So this is an old. Need to look for hex, not text. Ah, stupid. Hex, not text. So we need to copy this, do a search for this hex value and find next. Yeah. And basically we need to replace it with this hex value, which is just changing one value. So we'll click replace all. And then now if I do a search for this, I should be able to find it. Did that not work? Let's do that again. Let's just do that again, okay? Hex fiend, we'll open up that file, do a search for within hex, it's 41. Okay, we found it, 41, and replace it with this. First replace all. So that's changed now. That value's changed. File save. Okay, good. So that part's done. Then we're going to do the shader cache part. So we can go to Finder, Downloads, find a Detroit script, go to the scripts, and then we need to make sure the path bar is open. Control click on scripts and then go to open in terminal. So that makes us so that the scripts part is there, so we can see that script is there. Then we need to execute this. I'm going to paste this anyway, and then I can use J10. That's going to assign 10 calls. Okay, so do that. Oh no, I have to. When we type in compile, we have to use // and then compile. Yeah, that should be the metal tool chain unavailable. So we have to run xcode build metal tool chain. So let's run that first. We'll run this command. Xcode, but I should have that right. Okay, so we need xcode first. Okay, can I get around this without doing that? Can I just run the game? What happens if I just run the game now? X4 Foundation also works with the most MoltenVK. So do you, NetBuzz, do you mean this hacked MoltenVK, or do you mean a different MoltenVK that runs X4 Foundation? Let's see how long it takes for the shader compilation process to continue. Question is crossover 26 worth it if I own 25? Yes, certainly. Crossover 26 contains tons of fixes. If you subscribe to Crossover Plus now, you'll get Crossover 26, and Crossover 27 is coming out very soon. The preview builds anyway, so you'll have an active license for that. So that's going to improve a lot of stuff. I'm using Crossover 26 at the moment. So do I need to download Xcode to do this? Do I have an affiliate code to use? Yeah, just check out my latest Crossover tutorial, and my affiliate stuff's all there. So if you look at my latest Crossover videos, or Game Bulletin Toolkit 4 videos, I've got tons of affiliate links coming out my nose there. Intel processors bootcamp. Intel processors have bootcamp, so that's the best way to run Windows games on a Mac. If you have an Intel Mac, yes, but a lot of Intel Macs have been overtaken by Apple Silicon, especially in the mobile scene. The 5700 XT, if you got one of those with an i9 chip, that's pretty good. Why is this not loading? You got an i9 32 gig. If you got an i9 from 2020 or 2019 with a 5700 XT, then it's a good computer, but and boot camping into Windows is the way to play games, but it's not something. Those 5700 XTs, you can't walk around with those. You know, they burn a lot of power. Maybe I'll pre-compile that script anyway. So if I go here, go to Open Terminal, then I'll just pre-compile the scripts. Okay, so I'm gonna. Okay, so it's pre-caching the thing. My M4 feels like a console sometimes, especially with PS5 and having the PS5 glyphs. Yeah, made a whole video about M4 Mac Mini, making that into a gaming machine. Andy, I'm new to the channel. May I ask what's your profession and do you work YouTube? I work YouTube full time, so it might might not look like I do a lot of work, but every day I'm thinking about what to do on the channel. Okay, that's pre-compiled the shader. So I've done everything inside that. I've done everything in that README file now. I wouldn't say most games work. I think that eventually all single player games will work on Apple Silicon Mac, given enough time. It's just a matter of time. Like Detroit Become Human. This is 10 years in the making, right? I think what I might do is just restart the Mac because I think this guy deserves a tiny break. What? I'll just lock my computer so I've quit. I want to restart my Mac because I think he needs a little mini break because the game won't launch. Most games do just work with crossover. I mean, eventually, yeah. Eventually, someone figures out a way to do it because there's millions of developers with Macs, and then they all want to play their favorite game. As long as the game's popular enough, people are working on it from somewhere or another. Anti-cheat is so funny because I'm not cheating, I'm just cheating a PC. Yes. Because you're running the game through a translation layer, the server doesn't really know whether the game wall didn't render for you because of wine, because of the translation layer, or because you actively decided not to use the translation layer to make the wall invisible. So yeah, I heard that Helldivers 2 is working well, so I'm glad to hear it. The Mac's just booting it now. Mac's taking a bit of time to load. I hope it's not loading into my solid state drive because I didn't mean to do that. I'm quite keen to see how an improved Detroit to Become Human works. I think for getting like a Batman running on my Mac, I would never guess needed those library files. Yeah, the VC runtime files are tricky. Okay, it's loaded into my solid state drive by accident, so that was not intended. Because this is my macOS 27 test, and I didn't mean to do this, so I need to restart again. I'll load it into my macOS sandbox. I need to go to settings and go back to where I was. Because I'm using the macOS Tahoe. How do you know a game isn't running due to missing files or not supported? It's really hard to say. Would you do a video on Mac Simpson Hit and Run? Is that the game? Is that the oh, it's the game on PS2, isn't it? Did I test this earlier? Because I did a PlayStation 2 test earlier. Okay, we're going to go back to our crossover MoltenVK. Now we're going to go to Steam. We're going to load up DXVK. It has a native PC game too. Okay. Well, I emulated it earlier on ARM-SXX2. I think that worked pretty well, so we can try that. Any good 60 FPS games for M1 Max? I mean, lots of games run at 60 FPS. All the Resident Evil games. No Man's Sky. Yeah, let's do this. I'm hoping this works. So we've done everything on the README. We did the hex edit, we did the graphics settings change, we did the metal compilation. I would like to ask how to install games in Asterisk. It's my first time using it, and also first time using MacBook Air. I did a whole tutorial video on it, so you can have a look at it there. EmuDeck for Mac, that would be peak. Yeah, the EmuDeck team did say they were going to support Mac at some point. We're not using D3D Metal because this is a Vulkan game, and Vulkan requires MoltenVK for us to get this to work. What's happening? Why aren't you loading? Something's happening, right? They recently responded on Mac version of EmuDeck. Okay, what did they say? So it seems to support M series, macOS Battlefront, Proton support Vulkan and all that stuff. I mean, that would be ideal, but I think Valve are very busy doing their own thing, and they're not going to do that. They're not going to try to chase the Apple side of things. It's a waste of time for them. The Metal compiler service is running. Something's using up a lot of CPU cycles trying to get this up and running. So something's happening in the background. I just can't see the window. It'd be much more reassuring if the window would appear. It's not appearing. which is annoying. But I am just streaming, so I think maybe I can just let it run for a bit. Let's get some more steps in. I mean, Steam doing Proton for Mac would be the ideal thing to do. If they could support Mac as much as they do the Steam Deck, then I could only see Steam games becoming more popular. Yeah, more devs might support it. But because, you know, the Mac gamer user base is so small, right? Then they still don't consider it worthwhile to really cover. Windows is losing market share though. Sure, it's better. I think Valve would see it much. I don't think Valve care much about the Mac user share. SteamOS and macOS are coming fast. Check memory usage. Do I need to wait for 20 minutes for this to... They used to support Mac more with their own games, yeah. Team Fortress 2, Portal 1 and 2. Yeah. It'd be very easy for Valve to port their games over to Mac again. I'm not sure what's happening here. Something's... Is it since I changed the hex editor to the exe file? Something's running in the background. Does crossover power? I think crossover power runs better than App Store power. App Store power is terrible, especially with the new Metal to DirectX to Metal 4 translation there. It's probably better to run it to DirectX 12. The whole reason Valve started doing their SteamOS and Steam hardware was because they have an ideological issue with gardens. Yeah. App Store Powered is running great now. Okay, I haven't tried it for a while, so I don't that familiar. It's really annoying to not know exactly what is happening here. Why when before it loaded up into a menu. Yeah, I made a whole video about this. If you go to my channel and just like why Valve gave up on that gaming, I covered this entire topic. Whoops. In a lot of detail.
11th.
So I talk about it. It's like a year old now. Yeah, talk about why the Steam Deck, why they don't care anymore. Valve isn't scared of Windows. They've released Windows at the start. They just want their cake too. Yes. Valve want their own walled garden in a sense. Valve have a garden. It's not really walled in the same way that Windows is walled. Let me look at the README again and then see if I've done anything wrong, okay? did this, I did this, I did this, I did this, I did this. I hex edited it, yeah, shader cache. I think it's just a shader cache thing. So maybe what I'll do is I'll delete the shader cache. So I'll just go back to my solid state drive. And we have the shader cache folder. And that's being worked on right now. I see 503, 5. I could just try to call some backup. I'll just reset this process and then we'll see if it creates a shader cache again. See, it loads now. This is new. Yeah, Windows 8.1 was a dark time. I remember when they removed this. I was there when they removed the start button from Windows. You remember that? And they tried to make, as a response to the iPad and all the touchscreen stuff, there's a huge misstep. They just said, oh, I'm just going to remove the start menu. And use gestures. We're going to use gestures for everything now. If you want the start menu up, you have to gesture. Okay, 2000 shaders are being compiled. You worked in-store tech support in that era. We thought Vista was bad. Yeah, 8.1. Oh my god, 8. Windows 8, such a disaster. I was working as like a computer tech support, and somebody's computer goes from like Windows 7 to Windows 8, and they didn't tell it to do it. It just did it automatically, and then they can't press the start menu, and then they can't find any of the applications, and just. And I remember installing. There are a lot of these like third-party shell startup applications and stuff, which is quite interesting. The whole like a whole ecosystem of just like stuff. Those service tablets were garbage. Yeah, I had a laptop which was Windows 8 laptop with a detachable keyboard screen. It was quite cool. It's like an Acer released them, but it was just total shit to use. Total garbage, you know. I think what I'll do is that when I get in the game, I'll play for a bit, and then I'll try to get this metal shader thing done again. The type like this says one large wall garden has gone better over the time, but mostly because of EU meddling with the inability to list a lot of things down. On the macOS side, we don't have that much of a walled garden. I can see it getting towards that because we can no longer control click on applications and force it to open that way. We have to go through this like convoluted menu system to open up an unsigned application. So I could see that one day they might just like turn it off, but I doubt it. Hardware was called. Oh yeah, the Atom. Oh my god, I can't believe I forgot about Atom. Atom was so bad. Yeah, I had one where you spin the screen around and turn it into a tablet. Yes, exactly. I had one which was quite small, like an 11-inch. It was like a better netbook, but still like ass. Yeah, it's all bad. On the contrary, I've never really had like a bad Apple Mac. Like the 2019 MacBook Pros are pretty bad because of the butterfly keyboard. But apart from that, at least it worked, right? At least it was powerful enough to do stuff. 64-bit processor clicking a new one 32-bit, yeah. I just remember like 32-bit Windows. I mean, it wasn't even that long ago we were installing Windows 7. I had to choose between 64 and 32-bit. You know, did you have more than 4 gigabytes of memory? How much would that really matter? We're just seeing what happens when Xbox, when the new chief executive at MS start talking about spinning off Xbox again. Time to sleep. Okay, thank you for being in the stream for so long, Bedfred. Bedfred. Okay, so I nuked that folder. So are we doing shaded compilation again? Okay, might as well. I don't see how forcing Apple to use your species is getting your data. That's one other thing that EU has done. Even though the UK is no longer in the EU, are they still getting the benefits of this? Maybe they try to push a new PC game era. It is selfish reasons. No coincidence US is trying to pass a similar bill after Apple explained how private Siri. Yeah, I just renamed the shaded cache folder because it wasn't opening up, but I'm not sure whether that was a mistake or not because I'm still having issues, but at least I've changed the graphics settings so we don't have that blur issue. And then I'm going to try to recompile this metal shader thing again. We're using the script and see if that helps with opening. But I just want to get back in the game and see if there's graphic fixes. So I hex edited the exe and I changed the graphics options. It is like a super multi-stage process. I mean, do you really want to play Detroit Become Human on your Mac? Is it really worth all this pain? What's the best way to debug when games just don't open the windows on Mac with crossover wine? Restart the computer, delete the relevant files within the roaming folder within the bottle and within application support, and then see what happens. It's just kind of guessing, really. MagSafe is brilliant, but Open MagSafe would be better. Yes. Waterproof iPhone. iPhones are already kind of waterproof anyway. I don't think Apple care that much about Apple Care. I don't think Apple cared that much about broken phones either. They don't care that much about longevity because they kind of want you to trade in or buy a new phone eventually. Yeah, I haven't watched much Linus Tech Tips. I do find those videos kind of annoying. I don't know about you. They ported back advanced CPU scheduler for all the way back to the iPhone 11. So iPhone 11 supports Mac OS 27. Do you think the fault rumored pretty much confirmed foldable iPhone will be the first truly popular foldable phone? Yes. If they sell a foldable phone, I'm probably going to buy one. Because I quite like to have a big phone. I don't know. I will pay a lot of money for a big phone. If a phone could open up iPad apps, that would be a big deal. Linus Tech Tips drop quality. Yes, it became slop. His video autoplay after end did for some reason. Linus didn't pay YouTube. He's just very slick. iPhone Ultra release to shut up and take my money. Yes. I really like the idea of a big iPhone. I'm not gonna lie. One thing we can rely on is good OS support for the foldable screen. Exactly. That's the key here. the iPhone difference is the tight integration of hardware and software. That's the beauty of the iPhone. If an iPhone is similar size to like an iPhone 15, but like double, then that will put it close to like iPad mini territory, which I would really enjoy using. So when I get in game, I'm going to go back to the same chapter that I was playing earlier, and then in that garden, and see what the issue, that depth of field problem. So if that recurs. The shape looks comfortable. I mean, it's a render, so I don't really know what that means. I wonder what kind of cases you can use, because I haven't really looked much at folding phones. Are the cases any good? Because for me, the case is really important. Does a folding phone use a screen protector? I don't know, because I drop my phone a lot.
I haven't seen you for a while. It's good to have you back.
Okay, we're back in. Let's have a look at. Let's go to that garden scene again. I think it was this one, waiting for Hank. I was in the Zen garden. I stopped using cases with latest from Shield. Apple Care is my case, yeah. Maybe if I get an iPhone Ultra, I'll get Apple. Would you consider testing iOS gaming on the foldable phone if you get it? Yes, but not on this channel, probably. Okay, let's go back to that lady again, okay? We'll talk to her, and then I think that will solve the... Yeah, that depth of field is gone now. There's shallow depth of field issue. It's been fixed.
Connor, it's good to see you.
Games that let Spy and TFT already make my phone one of my main gaming platforms. Can't wait. If they put Slay the Spy 2 on my phone, I'm just never going to do anything ever again. I'm never going to get out of bed again. What's TFT? Is that Team Fight Tactics?
Thank you, Amanda.
Isn't Steam working on ARM support via Proton? Will have spillover effect. No, there's no Proton for Mac. Best thing we've got is crossover.
The interrogation seemed challenging. What did you think of the deviant?
It showed all the signs of deviancy. Cognitive instability, unpredictable behavior, and the emulation of human emotions. It was even afraid to die. The model was clearly defective.
This Lieutenant Anderson has been officially assigned to the deviancy case. What do you make of him?
There's some stuff missing. Can't see that properly, but
I think he's irritable and
not
socially
perfect.
challenged,
Rendering, yeah.
but I also think he used to be a good detective.
ChatGPT is handsome. This is handsome ChatGPT before ChatGPT.
Unfortunately, we have no choice but to work with him.
Imagine Windows gaming
What
on
do you think
iPad
is the best
Pro.
approach?
It'd just be janky, okay? That's like...
I will
What-
try to establish a friendly relationship. If I can get him to trust me,
The real
we can
problem is,
open an
like,
investigation.
Apple doesn't want jank on their mobile devices.
More and
So
more
translation
apps show
layers,
signs of deviancy. There are millions in circulation.
you know, they don't really
Become
want games to
unstable,
run via
the
translation
consequences
layers.
will be disastrous. You're the most advanced prototype CyberLife has ever created. If anyone can
Control
figure out
iPad runs
what's
great.
happening, it's you.
You can count on me, Amanda.
Need Alan Wake native versions. I mean, Alan Wake runs really well on crossover, so if
There's
you
still
really need it,
time.
I think Control is really good on Mac. Like an M1 MacBook Air can run Control really well. So we've got some graphical flickering here.
Can I help you?
I'm here to see Lieutenant Anderson.
Do you have authorization?
Does it get really hot and start to crumble performance-wise? Like, no.
Lieutenant Anderson hasn't arrived yet, but you can wait at his desk. You might be in shock. Just take it easy.
Hey, yeah. Taking any samples yet? Lab report says they cut him or something.
Kind of sound controllers that was not announced at WWDC. Well, I think it might be a simultaneous release regardless.
I'm looking for Lieutenant Anderson's desk.
It's that desk right there.
You'll need the forensics.
Does Steam Deck really not have fans? It does have fans. You don't really notice it that much though. I've forgotten how you do stuff in this game. Do you have to like hold something down? How do you read? What do I press to read that? Is it like a gesture? Unlock stick down. I'm trying to use my mouse though. Okay, I'll just do everything else you don't need.
Excuse me. Do you know what time Lieutenant Anderson usually arrives?
Depends on where he was the night before. If we're lucky, we'll see him before noon.
Thanks.
I noticed mouse controls straight up do not work correctly on pragmatic through crossover. How does Detroit become human gestures work? Right. Let me just try the unlock stick. Can't even sit down. How do you sit down? I remember it was like you left click down, right? You move left, like I've done here, and then you go around. But I'm moving my mouse around. Moving my mouse around. So I hold down my mouse like this, and then my hand does something, and then there's no gesture. I've got my unlock stick here as well. So I have to move in the direction of the arrow, but I'm holding it down, holding the mouse down. So if I left click, it goes down. And I need to move. Doesn't matter what. Why not boss sit down? I'm trying with the controller as well. If I remember correctly, you just... If I disconnect the controller, will that help? Yeah. So my controller was interfering with the mouse controls for some reason. Oh, I've done so much walking today. This game is gorgeous, yes. It is like a...
What are you looking at?
Oh, this guy.
Hey, fuck you.
It's another android. He murdered all. It's funny how an optimized not in real game can perform. Yeah.
They're going to destroy me.
I have an Intel Mac running Montroid. Kind of run games like Enter the Gungeon. Should do. Should work.
They have to analyze
Doesn't
the
Gungeon have like a...
They need to
If all
understand
else fails on the macOS side, you can always boot camp into Windows and run that. And Gungeon is not a demanding game.
I know there's something you didn't tell me. I need to know before they take you away. What you said yesterday. The truth is inside. What does it mean?
I'm going to die.
If you run boot camp Windows, that's free.
Open the cell, quick! Hurry!
What happened? Uh-oh. Ouch. You can try the trial first, yeah.
I'll call CyberLife. Clean this mess up.
It's good to see you again, Lieutenant.
Oh, Jesus.
Hank! In my office.
If you don't want Windows, then crossover is your only option. Yeah. It doesn't Enter the Gungeon have a Mac version. If you have a Silicon Mac, then crossover is worth every penny. If you've got an Intel, boot camp is great.
I've got 10 new cases involving androids on my desk every day. We've always had isolated incidents. Old ladies losing their android maids and that kind of crap. But now, we're getting reports of assaults and even homicide, like that guy last night. This isn't just CyberLife's problem anymore. It's now a criminal investigation, and we've got to deal with it before the shit hits the fan.
I mean, this is how old
I
is this
want you
game
to
now?
investigate these
Detroit.
cases and see if there's any link.
Why me? Why do I gotta be the one to deal with this shit? I am the
Comes
least
2018,
qualified
so it's like
cop
8 years old
in
now.
this case. I know jack shit about androids, Jeffrey. I can barely change the settings on my own phone.
Everybody's overloaded. I think
This
you're
boot camp's got
perfectly
crossovers
qualified for
because
this type of
it's more
investigation.
inconvenient to install
Bullshit.
boot camp.
The truth is, nobody wants to investigate these fucking androids, and you let me hold in the bag.
CyberLife sent over this android to help with the investigation. It's a state-of-the-art prototype. It'll act as your partner.
Intel Max games
No
one skin
fucking
and one
way. I
hardware.
don't need a partner, and certainly not this plastic prick.
Oof.
Hank, you are seriously starting to piss me off. You are a police lieutenant. You are supposed to do what I say and shut your goddamn mouth.
You know what my goddamn mouth has to say to you?
Okay,
Huh?
okay. I'll pretend like I didn't hear that. So I don't have to add any more pages to your disciplinary folder, because it already looks like a fucking novel. This conversation is over.
Jeffrey, Jesus Christ, why are you doing this to me?
Isn't Whiskey
You
still
don't have
free?
to
I
do
mean,
fucking
it's not
things.
supported anymore.
Why are you doing this
I wouldn't
to
try
me?
that.
Listen, I've had just about enough of your bitching. Either you do your job or you hand in your badge. Now, if you'll excuse me, I've got work to do.
Watch the World Cup. Which I don't really watch football, so which World Cup game is on right now? Is England playing? England won yesterday, so
Well then, I won't keep you any longer. Have a nice day, Captain.
this is way more important than the World Cup. Can enable a game mode and crossover. Yes, there is a. I read about a script which allows you to enable game mode. Thank you. This is cool, but I feel wrong. You want to support development, yeah. If you can afford a Mac, then you can afford crossover. Okay, so okay, this is good. So this is working. Let's see what happens when we try to reload the game. Does it try to force a recompilation? I'm not sure why it's not loading. I think what we could do is just go to that common folder and Detroit, and then you could just delete the shader cache. And then it will load up. It'll just take a long time to load up. So like if I delete this folder, then I could reload the game and it'll load up that black screen and then initiate some shaders compilation, and then it'll load up. So I'm not sure if that's a fix because it seems like not very satisfactory. But that does work. Okay, next thing I want to do is look at Doom. I think we need to Okay, so what we're going to do is we undo these fixes for this, and then we're going to load up Doom. So we're going to adjust this MoltenVK crossover. We use a different MoltenVK. So we're gonna use the MultiVK located in this video. So it's this is a Vulkan Mac. What they've done is a video for Doom 2016, and then what they've done is they put a Google Drive link here, which I'll leave a link to in the description. So this Google Drive link has the MultiVK that we need. So we're gonna go ahead and download this. And then within downloads, we're gonna open up this MultiVK. And then within here, we're gonna find the dylib. Where is it? Where's the dylib? Oh, here we are. So we need to open up MultiVK, and then we go to dynamic, and then we go, so we need to open MultiVK, we go to dynamic, and then we go to dylib, macOS, and then this is the MultiVK we want. So control click and then copy, and go to applications, control click, show package contents, shared support, crossover, lib64. And I'm just gonna paste this to overwrite that one. And then that should just work. So let's open up our crossover MultenVK. And then we're going to go to Steam, and then we're going to open this with the XVK. So Apple TV already is a games console. Just pair up a Bluetooth controller, and then it can play most games. So yeah, a lot of people complain that I'm using an M3 Max, but M3 Max is about a similar power to an M5 Pro. So I think that you should just be able to extrapolate from that how well a game would run on your Mac based on that information. Okay, so okay, let's do it. Okay, we've got in-game now to do in 2016. Hey, are you sure that M3 Max runs similar to M5 Pro in games? Yes. Okay, 1080p. Vulkan Ultra. Okay. Okay, so previously I've seen this working, we've seen this working through the M5 chip, but never through an M3 generation chip. That's very rough. So a way to put this up to 120. Even though you have 48 gigabytes RAM, God knows. I mean, the RAM doesn't really make much difference. Beyond 24 gigabytes, the RAM doesn't make much difference. It's only for very specific games. The GPU cores, I mean, the M5 Pro's GPU cores are faster. What are you supposed to like do here? Older isn't always better, even when it has more cores and RAM. New parts prove that. Yeah, the M5 generation is really good. What am I supposed to do in this level? I always forget. There's something missing. It's always I'm always missing something. I hate it when games where I'm not sure where I'm supposed to go because, and embarrassingly, I've been stuck here before. Oh, this is the thing. Oh, this is the thing I'm supposed to do. Stop running away from me. Okay, good. Yeah, I mean, it would be so interesting if Apple bought Xbox. I suspect there might be some kind of monopoly laws against that, something like antitrust law. Because even though Apple isn't a traditional game company, right? They are like a leader in mobile game revenue, right? So that'll be like a bit like a lot. Was I impressed with Game Portal for improving FPS? Yes, certainly. Why am I going inside? Okay, so that is Doom 2016 working, and the other thing I need to do is to get Doom Eternal working. So to get Doom Eternal working, I'll find where the game is actually installed. So I'm gonna get the actual path bar. So go to info. I'm gonna copy this path. No, I need to actually show where this path is. So go to properties, install files, browse, and then we have this entire folder copy. And then we're going to go general. I'm going to straight quotes here first, and then paste, straight quotes, and then command. This will skip the launcher, I believe, because the launcher causes the game to crash. Did that work? Maybe could I just try? Oh, I didn't type in the full. So I need quotes and then thing, and then I need to type in this, and then Doom Eternal x64 vk.exe, straight quotes, then command with a percentage next to it. Then that will load up the exe without the launcher. Cool, we've got Doom Eternal up and running. Yeah, I only added the path. That's what I said. So apparently Doom Dark Ages can't work because of missing stuff to do with Vulkan ray tracing. So until that gets solved, we don't have much to work on. Video. Change the resolution to 1080p. Let's go. Well, let's put this on high. And then we want to apply changes. The UI. Do we have performance HUD? Is there like a performance mode? Performance metrics on. Okay, ultra is probably enough. That gives us quite a lot of information. Yeah, thanks for pointing this out. Okay, so we're on high. Is anything about FOV? That's what we should. Vertical syncs off. So this is the first time it's playable. So, you know, people have got it working. I'm just testing out things that other people have gotten working. So. I want to turn off that HUD because it's annoying. There's a lot of screen tearing, so what I'm going to do is just turn it on FOV because it's very bad. Ouch. This one goes based on PC, so just yeah. I mean, PS5 was already sort of jailbroken anyway. Eventually, we'll get PS5 emulation. So it's like, this is arena of baddies never end. Oh my shooting is such bad. Yeah, this could go way higher. I just wanted to get like some actual good gameplay footage of this before. I read sometimes we could hope that MoltenVK is working on a separate version for most of 4 ray tracing support. Okay, that's interesting. What do I think about Tinker's interview about the price? Yeah, it's inevitable, you know? There's some graphical issues here. You see that weird thing? Some geometry issue.
Remains guarded. You can.
Apple have done really well by not really doing that much with increasing prices. So I'm surprised that it hasn't actually increased prices that much before. You know, anyway. Whoa, what is that?
The first Hell Priest has been terminated. The demonic consumption of Earth has been reduced by 36.8%. There are 2 priests remaining.
Oh, I just. What does that mean? They're ripe? If they're red, what does that do? I didn't know you could do acrobatics in Doom. Weak point. Ragnarok. Oh, this is like in Doom 2. The Spider Demon. What you had. Oh, it's like the Spider Demon in Doom 2. Doom is very satisfying. Can I kill him using the... Where'd it go? Or can I get him? Stomp him? Ow! They should just way better than Dark Age. I haven't played Dark, the Dark Ages yet. How could the executions get worse? Because surely they would just use the same ones, right? I don't know, or similar ones. Seems a waste to this chainsaw thing is very satisfying. And also really disgusting as well. Not the same genre, but both really good games, yeah. This new gun? Weapon wheel. Heavy cannon. What's cool is this? Dark Ages is more stand your ground, yeah. Quite satisfying. It's quite accurate, this gun. It's way more powerful than yeah, being able to block with a chainsaw shield. I've seen videos of it. I haven't really played much Doom. Like I enjoyed the first Doom games. Without ammo, what's my ammo gone? No, I'm gonna die from no ammo. Sad. Hit these guys to get more ammo, right? Ow. Some of these deaths are brutal. Inbounds. Oof. something quite satisfying in this game. I'm not gonna lie. I can see why people like it so much. It seems to be more fun than Doom 2016. What do people think? Whoops. Whoop. I'm testing T3 Metal. This is MoltenVK. Who has fun game until we get stuck? How do you get stuck? If I might remember, this is like an easy mode, I think. Oof. Oh, his brain dudes are hard. You need to be using this modified MoltenVK. You can't run this on D3 Metal because it doesn't use DirectX. How do you install MoltenVK on crossover? You could watch the video, this live stream, or I'm gonna make a tutorial video on it within the next few days, next week or so. Frag grenade. Doom Eternal use DirectX? No, he uses Vulkan. Oh wow, this is like the classic Doom baddies. How do I get across this? Do I have to double jump at the end, at the peak? Oh, it's just like it's just like the cacodemons from the first game, I guess. Oh, I can load up, like with my right click. I don't know there's like a right click. I can load up 3 shots and then fire them all at once. Where'd dude go? Ooh. Oh, this guy's got a jetpack. Is it possible? Yeah, it's possible to get virtually every game. Every Resident Evil game, yeah. Capcom have done a really good job of trying to get every Resident Evil game running. Either through emulation or Windows going, or basically at the Mac App Store, that's going to help. Like a lot of dudes in this. I wouldn't mind if there were fewer dudes to fight in this arena. Feels like there's slightly too many. Play RE1 via emulator. Is that the first PlayStation 1 emulator? So the objective is on the map, but it doesn't seem to be in an obvious place. Where did the baddies keep coming from? Where am I supposed to go? Oh, the RE1 remake. Oof. That's a good one. I don't know they remade RE1. Does it still have the same tank controls as the first game? Okay, well, it took ages to kill those baddies. You know how much ammo this can do. It has the tank controls but better graphics than this ridiculous dialogue. Oh, it's got alternate fire modes. I didn't realize this gun has got alternate fire mode too. Okay, good. I think I've played enough Doom Eternal to get that to work. So those are the 3 big Vulkan games. I think maybe Wolfenstein will work too. Yeah, we're not gonna try it. Andrew's shooting 2 biz once. They're having fun and playing a really satisfying game again testing. Yeah. Yeah, I'll make a video about how to get Doom Eternal running on macOS, plus Detroit Become Human as well. Although that is a way more complicated tutorial. Okay, good. Okay, everyone. So that is my stream for today. We've achieved quite a lot, and yeah, I'm quite happy with that. So I'm ending the stream here. Thank you very much for joining me today. Thank you very much for TrueWar for putting together a little tutorial, and I'm going to be linking to their macOS install. And then yeah, we're going to try putting this together in tutorial very soon. So anyway, thank you for joining the stream today. I'll see you in the next one. Okay, I'm ending the broadcast now, and I'll do a proper tutorial for you guys later. Right, bye bye.